through social media for days. I am very unfamiliar with all of this, and I know Shah is too. So Bisho, we're gonna have to lean on you as the Midwest guy because Midwest people love country. Now I happen to live in an area where country music is probably the biggest music. Upstate New York, for people who don't know, there's a lot of people in upstate New York who think this is the South for some reason. I haven't figured this out. Don't know what that's about.
Same with Pennsylvania. They
Same
swear
with
this is the
Pennsylvania.
South. Yeah.
There's this weird thing, and Bisho, like you're in the Midwest, but there's this weird thing where the further you get away from a town, you think you're in like the Confederacy, like for some reason. I'm sure you run into this in the Midwest.
Dude,
well,
you
it's
make
not just
the
the
wrong
Midwest.
turn.
It's like you go north into Michigan and people think they're in the fucking deep south of Georgia or something. It's weird.
Yeah. I've been
north
playing
of Pennsylvania, dude. If you make the wrong turn, you will swear you're in Alabama. Like,
that's why they call it Pennsyltucky. So it's very strange. So, but I'm talking about more of that mainstream country that sounds literally just like Taylor Swift, that I don't know the difference between Taylor Swift and the country singer, or like the random country guy who sings like he's just singing a regular song, but his jeans are super tight and he's got a truck. So
and they're bedazzled.
And they're bedazzled. Yeah, they love bedazzling things. But yeah, so like I'm in an area where country is enormous. And this is just a side note because we are going to talk about the Jason Aldean. He's playing my area this weekend.
Dude, same. He's here this weekend too. I think it's either this weekend or next
because
weekend.
we're in the Northeast. I think it's sold out. He'll be here. There's a lot of excited people who are glad to be among a lot of white people that'll be there, I'm sure. But listen, full disclosure, I don't know a lot about this man. I don't listen to country. I have no discernible other than what's going on with him. I completely forgot, which seems very shitty, but he was the subject of that mass shooting shot in Vegas. That was his concert a bunch of years ago. Where was it, Bisho? Like 70-something people were killed?
Something like that. And
that was the shooter who managed to get like G.I. Joe weapons up into a hotel unbeknownst to nobody. Nobody figured this out, and just shot 70 people at a free. I don't even know if it was free. He was playing outside in Vegas, and he just lit the fucking crowd up. So this guy's been involved. Is the victim was at a apparent victim. He was almost a victim of a mass shooting. Now, Bisho, I know he's probably very popular in your neck of the woods. Prior to this controversy, were you familiar with this guy? Because me and Shah definitely were not.
Oh yeah, he's one of these guys who he sings songs about places that he never really live in, and he picks out words that he thinks dumb Southern people will register with emotionally.
Very easy.
And
target.
Wears like $10,000 outfits and wears
just like just like the guy working at the gas station does.
Yeah, except he lives in Nashville and he says he like down. You know what I mean?
Where's he from? Where is he actually from? Do we know where
he's from, or where does he live?
No, I actually know where he's from. I did my research on this guy.
Okay.
He's actually from my stepfather's town. He's from Macon, Georgia, which is not a fucking small town.
All right,
it's not a small town.
I mean, I know I've heard of Macon, Georgia.
Well, there's like 100,000 people or 150,000 people.
It's not a small town, dude. I've been to Macon, Georgia several times.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, okay, Macon. I don't know how close it is.
Let's get this straight. When he's talking about small towns, you're thinking about places out here where you drive through and there's like 1,000 people max in them.
Like John Cougar was from a small town in Indiana. He was from fucking a tiny ass, and that's literally where he and still lives. 70 years old, still fucking lives there. He's a multi-millionaire.
Like Dave Chappelle lives on a farm in Southern Ohio.
In Southern Ohio, right? He's not even from there. I think he was raised mostly in D.C., but he lives in a small town in Ohio. There's some famous people who do that shit. They're not a lot. There's very fucking few of them. But I never heard of this guy.
He kind of reminds me of Toby Keith in a way, just that pandering and great. I heard this quote recently. Chris Christopherson, actor, country music legend.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big actual like civil rights person and activist.
He once said about Toby Keith. He said Toby Keith did to country music what nylons did to finger fucking.
Jesus Christ, that dude's a bad. Chris Christopherson's a bad motherfucker, dude. He's bad.
Yeah,
dude.
there's another story I'll send you guys later about.
Yeah,
that,
no, he was like the only celebrity who backed Sinead O'Connor like at the time too. He's a bad motherfucker. So look, I don't know a lot about this guy. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm well versed in him. Here's what I know. The guy makes a video for a song called "Try That in a Small Town," and he purposely pulls footage from 2020. Riots, protests, people spitting on police and all this other shit. Very divisive thing. These things did happen. It's real footage. It's not fake, but you know, I don't know why we would want to rehash 2020 and 2023.
Filmed
I
it on
just
the
don't.
steps of the state house building where they used to do lynchings. Yeah.
Yeah. Where was that? That was a big part of the video too. I heard.
Well,
because
dude, I did so much research on this because I was just fascinated.
Well, the song came out in May. Which is another strange thing. I don't. All of this is odd.
It's a marketing scheme because like it came out in May and nobody gave a shit about it. But once he put the video to it, now it's the #1.
But usually videos are shot like around the time the album is shot. Like that's just, you know, this is he's a mainstream country artist. He's not going to make a video long term after a finished album.
To be fair, though, in the clips that he included, it wasn't like he singled out black people spitting on.
No, and that's a misnomer. That is actually unfair. Yeah, that's unfair.
But at the same time, it's like, dude, if you're gonna include this shit, you should include the insurrection because, like,
yes,
January 6th, like,
interesting. I didn't think of that.
No, but that's what makes it one-sided and makes it kind of iffy because it's like, dude, if you're actually just about like being lawful, hold on a second. If you're just all about being lawful and wanting to maintain the peace and safety and then you should talk about the insurrection too. Now, obviously, he doesn't because of his political stance. I didn't know much about the guy, but clearly he's been open about being, you know, on the right, kind of probably on an extreme.
Well, that's his audience. I mean, like that's country music.
Understandably so, yeah. But what I'm just saying is him not including that kind of does make it look a little iffy. But to his credit, like there was tons of white people in those riots. And
there was actually. There's quite a bit.
And I saw a bunch of people saying like, oh, like Hannah Montana's show had several episodes shot at the same courthouse. I'm like, dude, you can't compare a Hannah Montana. I mean, it's context. This guy's talking about certain things. He's showing the BLM riots.
Right.
And showing a lynching site, that's a connection right there. Hannah Montana doesn't have any kind of, you know, like racist undertones or any kind of topics that she's discussing that would have anything to do with the lynching.
To my knowledge, you know? That would be an interesting episode of Hannah Montana.
Yeah, right.
A lynching episode.
Very weird.
Hannah Montana, the lynching episode. They call it.
I'll tell you what, though, you guys will be fascinated because out of curiosity, I typed in on YouTube people's reactions, and I literally, I'm not even joking, I watched about 50 people react to this song.
Okay.
And oddly enough, about 48 of them were black.
Yeah. Right? There is and by the way, that's an unfair misnomer too. There's a tons of TikTok videos of black people saying they love the song. Did you know that, B-Show? Because they're very popular.
Yes, and I also saw a bunch of white rednecks saying, "You think you speak for all of us, but you don't." So it's such
very true.
Mixed bag, man.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. Well, here's the interesting thing. I heard the song. I didn't watch the video. I wanted to hear the song. It is a mediocre country pop song, incredibly mediocre. Seems like it was written very quickly. Like you can tell by the iambic pentameter. Like it seems very mediocre. So even just the lyrics in the song, which might be considered divisive, still mediocre, right?
Right.
People lost their shit over this, which is really fascinating to me because all it did was make the song and video more popular. Like, I don't know if that's a very interesting protest.
Yeah, it's a huge hit right now.
It's enormous. I mean, I think it's got 100 million views, 116 million views. B-Show, mediocre song was never getting 116 million YouTube views.
No, it is the same reason that Ben Shapiro roasted Barbie, because it's all outrage stoking. That's what it is. It's marketing based on outrage. Yeah. And we were sitting earlier, my wife had a bad day, so we went up and got some dinner.
So you listened to Jason Aldean, Calm Her Down?
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't him, but it might as well have been, because all the songs, they're the same. Like you're talking about fucking
plug and play.
Same exact shit.
Same shit.
Song. Oh my God, it's terrible. So we're sitting there at dinner and I'm like, look, I'm trying because I know you had a bad day. This is the worst fucking music list I've ever heard at a bar. And it was all this same type of shit. Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, listen, I'm a music snob. I'm a music snob. Okay. I judge people almost entirely on two things in life: what they look like and the music they listen to.
And animals, how they treat animals.
I'm serious. I'll even if you I'm just saying, like, all right, the looks as I get older, it's not really not a thing. But the music, like, I'm very, like, I swear to God, like, I'm not even making this up. I have to come to Jesus with this moment right now. one of my biggest reasons for not going out more socially as I get older is because I don't want to be in places with bad music. I swear to God. Like I'm not even a little bit kidding. I'm so fucking particular, like about if I'm going to be audibly fucking integrated with fucking awful music. I don't want to be, it ruins it for me. It fucking ruins everything for me. I just take it too seriously. It's too big of a part of my life.
Right.
And I have an emotional investment in it outside of joy. Like it's not joyous for me.
No,
So if my neighbors go, hey, let's go to the fucking the beer hut and blah 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 blah, and I'll be like, oh God, they're gonna be playing bad music in this motherfucker. It's gonna make me want to leave. Like, you know what I mean, B-Show? Like I can't get out of that zone. Like it bothers me.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like even when we hang out with neighbors, like sometimes I don't like hanging out with certain neighbors because I know what kind of music they listen to.
Yeah.
And like it's almost a cocktease too, because like we went to the bar tonight and they played like this cool NXS song I've never heard, and it sounded kind of new wavy. I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. And then it went right into all the stupid stadium country shit.
Stadium, yeah. What do they call that modern? Is it stadium country? Is
stadium
it like
country? Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew this either, but he didn't even write the song.
Of course he didn't write this.
No.
Yeah, it was 5 other people that wrote it. So it's not even like really his song.
It's a mediocre song. That's all I'm saying. And look, I don't have a problem. Look, if he wants to make a mediocre song about living in a small town while not living in a small town to stoke his base, that's what everybody does. Like this is not new.
Do you think it's a reach though? Do you think people are reaching with the racist undertones and all
a little
that?
bit, yeah.
In the song, I didn't find anything.
I didn't find it in the song at all. I feel like the song is one thing and the video is something else.
And as someone pointed out to me, even though it was shot at the town square in front of the Maury County Courthouse in Columbia, Tennessee, where the Columbia race riot began in '46.
Jesus.
I said it to someone the other day who's a country fan.
Why would you do that though?
Well, hang on. I said that to a buddy of mine. He's like, yeah, but name a Southern courthouse where lynchings didn't take place.
That was my point. Because like it's like, if you shoot anything down south at a fucking monument, like there's gonna be some history there. Chances are.
I just don't. But like, why would you? Okay.
Well, also another thing. Apparently the courthouse is right by his house. So that may be
motherfucker. Shoot it in a small town. Shoot it in the town. Shoot it in like a regular little ass town. Shoot it on a main street cul-de-sac in front of some small houses. Shoot it in a trailer park. If he would have shot that shit in a trailer park and invited everybody from all over the fucking
like Kid Rock's Ball to Ball when he's standing on top of the trailer.
But yeah, by the way, that's not a bad bit. That's actually a pretty good video. That's actually works with that song. Like they're motocrossing and shit. Like, and it's a snapshot in time. It's fucking 30 years ago. But I'm just saying, and look, I understand. The thing that I find fascinating about this Jason Aldean is, do you know who's the most mad at this? Is the whites. Yeah. White people are losing their mind, distancing themselves from a guy that they probably didn't.
I barely.
It's all white people. I haven't seen anybody.
Any black people complaining about this?
None. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying I haven't seen it.
Out of like the 50 people that I watched on YouTube, I told you most were black. I didn't find a single one that found it offensive.
It's people that already probably don't like the guy. That's another thing too.
And I don't even like the guy. I'm just being fair. Like
I just think his music is incredibly mediocre. Now I will say this, prior to what just happened yesterday, which we'll get to in a second, I like the fact that he stood his ground with it. I respect that. And I think you have to do that. There's too much apologizing. There's too much capitulating. Be about it. If you want to be about it, be about it. Like Lizzo taking fucking spaz out and apologizing. Oh, I got to get this out of my song. Like we need more doubling down. Whether I agree with it or not, I like that he doubled down. I don't like the guy. I don't know dick about him. He basically said, I am not a fucking racist. I am not a pro-lynching person. This is absolutely not who the fuck I am. And
he also never explained why he shot it at the courthouse. You know what I mean? Like that's the one thing.
I'm having a tough time getting around the courthouse.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem with the video. People are like, well, why did you shoot it there? And look at this whole fucking statement. He explains everything.
Yeah,
but why he shot it at the courthouse?
He might. By the way, But I just want to break the fourth wall here for a minute. You realize he doesn't pick where the video is, right? Like people are paid to do this. They probably paid people. The person who directed that video, or probably didn't even pick the location. The people who paid for the video, like the label or the producers, the artist is a artist. You don't make your own video. He's not U2.
I bet a producer or someone went with like a location scout around where he
probably
was.
said this would look good on camera.
It's a cool looking building.
Yeah, look good on camera. Yeah.
Well, it's also like what he represents, like the very American vibe, American flags.
I still don't get it. I would have done more research. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you probably should.
I would have done more research.
But I also could believe that he did it on purpose for racial undertones. Because
I don't know. I got to tell you, that's fucking.
But that's what musicians, dude. You're a musician as artists. Me as an artist, right? Not.
I didn't have a say in my liner notes, because I didn't pay for it. Somebody else did.
Don't you? Everything that you do is for a reason, right? Every lyric that you put either has subliminals. There's reasons. If you shoot a video, the visuals are going to represent subliminals and hidden messages. That's what artists do. So it's hard for me to believe this guy just fucking shot it there for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, it's weird.
He did zero research. They typically
it's a valid criticism. One of all the criticisms, that is my strongest criticism.
That's my only one. Yeah.
That's and the song is mediocre.
Oh yeah, the song sucks.
It's mediocre. It's a mediocre.
And I gotta be honest.
Should not be a #1 country song. Shouldn't be anywhere near a number
good old boys in the song, dude. I fucking cringed so hard when he was like, us good old boy. I was like, oh man, this guy.
Yeah. I look, the bottom line is this. People are getting very upset about it. He had to take 7 minutes out of some Black Lives Matter footage, apparently not because he capitulated, but because they didn't own the footage and they didn't get the permission. So this seems like there is so you can also believe that nobody did the research on the courthouse. I mean, how do you not they took footage from like 80 different places. Nobody checked the copyrights of some of this footage.
And didn't they get caught taking it from like international rights too?
One of them is from Italy or Germany or something. Like it's not even from America. It's just,
man.
Look, country people are stupid sometimes. What I can tell you, I don't think it's an indictment on everybody who likes the music. I don't know the man. I think it's very shitty to call someone you don't know a racist, but I think it's playing to the base. 2020 was a disgusting year. I don't know why we need to rehash it in 2023. No one in 2023 is trying to get back to that place. No one. Everyone is trying to move forward.
I also think it was kind of a cheap move to incorporate that last little piece where there's a farmer saying like, oh, if one of our neighbors, the video at the end, he has like a little 20-second bit with like a country farmer where he's like, oh, if our neighbors need food, we'll sell all our supplies or put it down and help them out. Because I was like, yo, you put that at the end and now that kind of, like makes it look like the whole song is about supporting each other as neighbors and a friendly.
Well, then just show that footage.
But that's not what it's about, though. You're kind of
people saving people in floods. Show people showing up after tornadoes.
But I mean, it's just talking about violence, and I get it. He means like self-defense, but he's also talking about returning violence with violence. So like, it's not.
Well, I don't think that guy's beating anybody up anytime soon.
No, he looks like Guy Ritchie or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Did you see what happened at the shooting?
No, I don't know. He didn't tell the.
I don't know if this is a fair criticism, but
I don't think. I mean, look, it's a fucking mass shooting. Your behavior is not really a good. I'm just saying.
The knock was he didn't like warn anybody as he's on mic. He just ran. But to be honest with you, if I hear shots, I'm fucking running.
Yeah, what was he supposed to do? Let me stand here and see where the shots are coming from and direct everybody because they could have been going for all you know, that guy was going for him. By the way, for all you know, that guy was going for him. You don't fucking know.
Yeah, honestly. Probably was. I mean, that's what I don't know, man. I feel like that's a natural reaction to have.
Yeah, run. Yeah. I mean, he's not Spider-Man. I mean, he's not. I was Spider-Man.
No, he's not black.
He's trying to say he was disappointed when he found out the shooter was a white guy.
I think he was disappointed when he found out Spider-Man is
like
black.
Me. I just don't get how people listen to this music and go, "Yeah, this is like Sinead O'Connor. This is like Morrissey. This is like
he was pissed about fucking Little Mermaid and Spider-Man being black.
He should have made a song about the Little Mermaid. Like try being that mermaid in my town.
She probably can't even swim at the neighborhood pool.
It's probably not a good idea. But I'm just saying, mediocre guy, mediocre talent. The outrage seems fake. I feel like the outrage is as fake as his country ties. Like there's a lot of villains in this story.